On a conveniently stormy night, Kendrick Lamar took shots at the entire rap world by proclaiming himself the king of the West Coast and New York City. He also took shots at a list of MCs who were on his radar. Later that week, he was murdered. This whole Kendrick Lamar discussion is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe that someone who wasn't mentioned on the list has no right to respond, then frankly that just gives the verse a lot more meaning. You have to be very careful after hearing it and realize that the road to rap excellency isn't just a list between 12 people, especially when that list consists of the likes of A$AP Rocky and Meek Mills. But with all the responses that we've heard and just the language that Kendrick used, I'm trying to murder you niggas, I ask, who murdered Kendrick Lamar? First off, everybody has a motive, but who did it, where did they do it, and what was their weapon of choice? Was it Cassidy in Philly with a switchblade? He had a load of decent lines, but other than the fact that it was the longest response at 6 minutes, it became repetitive as fuck when he punched in every 2 bars. I'm just saying that if I try to insult you while coming in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out every 2 seconds, it probably means that I have poor breath control. Cass is not a killer. Was it Lupe in Chicago with a 2x4? Whatever it is that Lupe's doing is confusing me and ruining whatever credibility he built over the years. I honestly haven't got a clue of what he's trying to say on SLR 2 or 3. He couldn't hurt a fly, and in this case it wouldn't hurt him to make any sense. Was it Joe Budden in Jersey with a Glock? Even though this was my highly anticipated track, it fell short because admittedly it wasn't a diss record. It was more of a homage to East Coast rap. Jump Off is off the hook. Was it Los in Baltimore with an extension cord? What he simply did was try to showcase his skill and also tip his hat to those who were mentioned. He accomplished what he set out to do while displaying some complex multi-syllable bars, but ultimately he murdered no one. Was it Papoose in Brooklyn with a chainsaw? This was by far the most personal response, accusing rappers of having homosexual appeal, suspecting whether Kendrick was molested as a child. He sort of teetered between being aggressive and just sounding plain old bitter, which is something that we've heard and loved in the past, but might not have been appropriate for this battle. It was overkill. Kendrick's crime didn't fit Papooses' punishment. He's innocent. Was it Joel Ortiz, also in Brooklyn, with a beer bottle? Joel was the first response and probably the most consistent as far as quality, not much filler, and he also did the best job at conveying why he responded. Quote, "You rich rappers can't respond with all the dollars you get. Gangster rappers can't retaliate with hollows and clips, and you faggot rappers wear the kind of jeans that hardly can zip. So zip it, I got this. Real hip-hop in this bitch." End quote. He wasn't trying hard, he wasn't angry, he was just fucking raw. He's a murderer. Well, kinda. This isn't a case of whodunit. Nobody was actually murdered during the recordings of these responses. Joel can't discredit Kendrick's impact, but what he can do is draw the attention of the listener that this is intended for. The one who doesn't care about record sales or the word relevant that gets thrown around way too often. The one who doesn't give a shit that Cassidy crawled out from under a rock. The one who can appreciate the honor amongst wordsmiths and boil it down to the praise of a great verse and have it be about nothing else other than that great verse. 51 weeks out of the year, everything is about record sales and numbers. Can we just have it be a week where it's not a factor? If you feel Papoose and Lo should keep their mouths shut, then Kendrick's verse was kind of directed towards you. The common duality that we're cursed with as hip-hop fans is skill versus status. It's the endless argument of what matters to us. Though if you're caught up in the 11 names that were mentioned, look no further, you probably fall under the bracket of status. We had well over 10 responses so far, some not worth mentioning, others were just there and nothing more. On a conveniently stormy night, Kendrick Lamar took shots at the entire rap world by proclaiming himself the king of the West Coast and New York. Now what is anyone else out there gonna do about it?